But I would say that in the case of Rob, that was one of those things where we've been really good friends for a few years now. And I had put a bug in his ear about 6 months ago, and I said, hey, I don't know what you're going to do next offseason, but whatever it is, whatever you decide, would you feel comfortable sharing the information with me? And he did it. And he was a man of his word. He told me when the time comes, I'll take care of you. And that's, I don't know how well you know Rob, but he is one of the really good dudes. And he has this like persona of being this crazy kind of, bigger than life personality. But if you spend time with him, he's like a very low key, chill dude. And he's been great.
Gronk.
Jordan, how confident are you that he stays retired? I know Drew Rosenhaus already has made comments that he thinks he might come back and negotiating. Who knows what's going on? But what are your feelings on that?
AJ, when I talked to him right after we basically talked for 15 minutes before I put the news out, and I said, are you sure this is what you want and everything, and this is it? And he said he really does feel content. And I asked him, what does that mean? And he said, basically, look, over the last 10 years, he's been through a lot from a health standpoint. When he came out of college, he had a broken back out of Arizona. He slipped in the draft. He had basically a plate in his back that's still there. He's been injured multiple times. He's had a ton of issues with head injuries, and I think he really does feel content. He's going to pursue other opportunities outside of football, investing.
A lucrative acting career.
Such a funny guy that he can pretty much do whatever he wants. But I got the sense that right now he just wants to be low-key. And I kind of asked him, like, look, if Tom calls week 10 and says, Rob, I need you, baby. Come back. Like, what do you say to that? And I got the sense that the answer remains no at 33 years old. But he has done this before. I wouldn't be shocked, per se, if he came back for the end of the season.
Yeah, Tom's a great recruiter, too, and Tom and him have been to the mountaintop numerous times together. What do you think took so long? And do you think he made his decision up whenever Tom announced his retirement? Then when Tom came back, he had to, contemplate? Because there was that video of him coming out of the barber shop in Tampa Bay, and they said, hey, oh, no. Oh, I thought we lost service in the woods. They said, hey, Rob, what are you doing? Are you going to come back? He goes, I'll make him wait for it a little bit longer. And we all kind of thought, he's just going to come back training camp. He's going to miss all votes. His smart move, enjoy his summer, do his thing. Do you think he was contemplating, or do you think he's done this for a little bit of time?
No, I do think he was contemplating, because when the season ended,
definitely coming back then.
I was with him when the season ended, and I said, how you feeling physically? And he said, I'm tired, but I have to think about this. I won't know for a couple months. And I had checked in with him over the last few months, and I didn't get a definitive answer. And to me, that was either he doesn't know, or he's maybe leaning towards coming back. And I was with Tom about 6 weeks ago, and I asked him, have you talked to Rob? And he was like, I don't really know. It's still pretty early. So to me, the answer is he probably made the decision over the last few days, maybe the last week, made sure it was right, and then ultimately decided that's what he was going to go with.
Congrats, Gronk.
There you go, Rob.
Hell of a run, pal. Can't wait to see what
the best tight end ever. I mean, it has to be, right?
Yes. In my eyes, he is, but everybody calls me disrespectful to the old generations, The
Kellen Winslows of the world.
Yes. Yeah. Gates, Gonzalez.
Oh, it's Gonzalez, sure.
Yeah, there's that whole conversation.
Shannon Sharp.
Dallas.
Shannon, yeah, hell of a player. Dallas Clark, it was a teammate of mine. He's unbelievable. There has been great tight ends through the past, but I think if you picked Gronk up and put him in any era, he would have done well. If it was back in the, hey, tight ends are just another left tackle or right tackle, I think Gronk would have been all-pro then. You drop him in now when it's much more pass-heavy to the tight end. You got to be able to get open. He's obviously rose to the top here. I think that is why, in my eyes, Gronk is the best tight end of all time, but people attack me for not having respect for the past all the time. You know what I mean?
Well, I think you can have respect for all those great players, but his first 5, 6, 7 years, to your point, and AJ, you would know this better than me as well, but wasn't Rob a premier blocker who was very willing as well, and that made a massive difference, not only in the New England passing game, but the running game as well?
Absolutely, and he had a buddy on the opposite side that played tight end with him that was a freak athlete too.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, Hernandez, the guy was
Hernandez.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you ever watched him play. The guy could fly.
He was a hell of a player.
Paid him before they paid Gronk.